We've seen demand in homes for Reno Sparks start to decline a little bit year over year, as well as prices maybe starting to show a little bit of softening. What's happening in the real estate market for Reno, Sparks, Carson City, and all of Northern Nevada? Let's take a look. Hey everyone, I'm Garrett Stewart, your real estate agent for Reno, Sparks, Carson City, and all of Northern Nevada. Excited to go over the numbers for you today. And as I hinted, we are seeing numbers start to be a little bit softened year over year. So take a look at March here, 568,700. So just short of 570. Compare that to this time last year of $575,000. And you're going to see that, okay, year over year, it is down. So what does that mean? It just means, we're seeing a little bit less activity. We'll see that in the pendings and things like that. So a lot of the numbers we'll look at are going to be year over year numbers. So as things are increasing just from winter into the spring market, things are increasing that way, but just not as much as we saw last year. So let's take a look at median days to contract. So when you put your home on the market, how quickly can you expect it to sell? This is just abroad for Reno Sparks single family homes, and you can see it's 14 days. So we've seen that come down from that peak of 51 days back in December, and that's good. And you compare that to this time last year, and it was 11. So homes are taking just a few days longer to sell on average. Now, what about your price point? That's something to really take into account as well. So the lighter, the more white looking bar there is going to be this month or for March, looking at March, and versus the previous month of February. And you can see that a lot of these went up, and then some actually still went down. So take a look at that $400,000 to $500,000 price range, and it went from 20 days to 15 days for month over month. So we're still seeing the decrease from month over month, just a little bit more of a difference in the year over year. We're not seeing it drop as quickly as we saw last year. Now, why is that? And you can see inventory has been was going down, and now we're starting to see it come up. People are starting to take advantage of the spring real estate market, and so people are listing their homes. So you can see that the inventory is starting to go up. The next slide I'll show you just inventory year over year, what we're looking at there, but you can kind of see taking a look at that new inventory from 321 to 453. So we saw a big jump there. And of course, our sold inventory there, that's going to be that far left of the three numbers, and that's 268. So we saw that number go down from February. So 316 to 268, we saw a decrease. Now, like I said, inventory, 704. Compare that to this time last year, 536. So that's one of the biggest reasons. We've seen more inventory hit the market. And because of that, and homes are sitting a little bit longer. So our inventory is going to go up. We'll take a look at pendings here in a little bit, but the pendings is basically how many buyers are put out there as well. And so that's going to give us a little bit of an idea of, what's causing a little bit more of a softening market here for Reno Sparks. Taking a look at inventory in your price range, maybe if you're looking, how many homes are available? And you can see that from February to March, inventory has been going up for every single one. So that's good if you're out there searching for a home. There are some good advantages for the buyers out there. There's definitely some markets that when homes are still priced right, they're still selling the first week. So I'm shopping with multiple buyers right now, and when we see a home hit the market and I'm like, this is priced really well, not gonna last long. And if someone does sit on their hands, unfortunately, it could still go. So that is the key in this real estate market right now, is getting your home priced right from the beginning, and they'll still are selling instead of sitting on that market for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. So we want to make sure we get your home priced right from the get-go. But for those buyers out there, there's still some really good opportunities to take advantage of that market. So let's take a look at months in supply of inventory. And what this tells us is kind of, are we heading more towards a buyer's market or a seller's market? If we're seeing the number go up, it's getting more favorable towards buyers. If it's going down, it's going more favorable towards sellers and getting a little bit more difficult for buyers. So what you can see here, 2.6 months supply of inventory. compared to 2 months. So we did see a decent jump there, and basically what we saw back in August of last year. And what this means is that it's becoming a little bit more favorable for the buyers, and this is because the market has softened a little bit. We've seen those prices soften. We've seen more inventory go up, and when we see inventory go up and the pendings don't really follow as quickly, we're going to see the month supply of inventory go up. And so there are some more opportunities for the buyers out there. So that's good news for buyers right now. Sellers, there's still great opportunity, like I said, making sure we get the home priced well from the beginning, and we can still get your home sold pretty quickly. Let's take a look at pending sales by each month. So you can see we had 351 homes go pending for March. Compare that to this time last year, and it was 393. So we saw 40 less homes go under contract this year versus last year in the month of March. So definitely a bit of a slower start to the year. Now, and we saw it go from 295 to 351 versus the previous year. We saw it go from 323 to 393. So we saw a decent jump there. So less buyers in the market placing offers compared to last year, essentially. Taking a look at the weekly pending sales. So this is just each week is going to be a little dot on the map, essentially, of where each one's going. And you can see that this is all the way back to February last year. And it has been increasing for the year, and we saw actually a peak, and so where it was over 110 pendings in 1 week. So we're still seeing some strong numbers, and buyers are still out there, definitely in specific price points, can really take advantage of some of the things. And some are still, it's a very competitive market in some of the price points. Speaking of the different price points, this is going to be a key indicator here, and you can see that. Look at the $400,000 to $500,000 price point, went from 80 pending sales to 88 pending sales. And the $500,000 to $600,000 price point went from 83 to 88. So we saw a little bit of an increase there. Comparatively, you see the higher price point of over $1.5 million went from 25 to 21. So we saw a little bit of a slower pace there. So even in the 750 to 999,000, basically $1 million, it went down as well. So just something to keep an eye on. Different price points have different markets. So if you are curious on what your market is doing, let's get together, have a chat. My information is going to be in the description box below. Go in there, text me, call me, email me, or just comment, and we'd love to talk with you a little bit more about that market to see if you can take advantage of what's happening right now. We're going to finish out with just going into some of these specific markets. We've been doing everything Reno, Sparks, single family home. Now we're going to go into specific ones. So just Reno, $605,000 year over year. That's down 1%. Inventory, look at that year over year inventory increase of 30.7%. So like I said, a lot of more inventory is coming in the market. Good news for buyers. There's some opportunity out there. And then the new listings, again, year over year, 26% increase in new listings. And that days to contract actually went down to 10 days to contract. So still a little bit stronger in Reno. Now, this is where things change a little bit. It's really interesting. So in Sparks, we still see an increase in price, but inventory, look at that, almost 50% year over year gain in inventory. And then, of course, new listings, 1.9% year over year. So we saw a little bit more. And I think the biggest one, median days to contract, 20 days, median days to contract. That's an increase of 81%. So a lot longer than it was last year. Heading to our capital of Carson City, $537,500 median sales price there. That is an increase of 2% year over year, so that's always good. We'd like to see, that's a healthier number. We will kind of strive for a 3% gain year over year, so not quite there, but in these softer markets, we at least hopefully like to see it go forward. And inventory dropped quite a bit in Carson City year over year, down 33%. So might be a little bit of opportunity for the sellers in Carson City. New listings at 52 new listings year over year. That's still up 6.1%, even though we have the inventory lower. And median days to contract, it is selling a little bit quicker, 12% faster than last year. Fernley, $374,250, and that is year over year down and month over month down. So we saw a big drop from last month. So a lot of times when you only have 34 sales, a couple of deals can make quite a bigger change in those numbers. So we'll keep an eye on that one. So inventory though, up 4.4% year over year. Gardnerville and Minden, you can see $650,000 median price point, 4.8% year over year gain, and inventory is up 123 homes available right now. That is an increase of 33% from last year. And a lot of that is because look at the new listings, a lot more than last year as well, up 65%. Days to contract did drop down from last year, still up from last month, but 39 days to contract. And there's a lot more kind of more unique properties up there. There's some that are very large, acreage, can be multi-million-dollar. And then there are some that are just nice single family new built or newer homes as well. So in like the Windhaven community, things like that, or the ranchos, lots of different types of communities there that can make quite the difference. Heading back to Reno and Sparks, this is more all around condos and townhomes. What's happening? If you're a buyer, some of these buyers out there might be looking at that as an option for affordability. And you can see median sales price $359,000. And that is up over 5.5% year over year. And inventory, we're seeing a lot more increase in inventory. New listings up 19% year over year. Took taking a bit longer to get those homes sold at 33 days to contract. So if you remember, the Reno Sparks median days to contract for single family homes were 14 days, and this is 33 days for condos and townhomes. So taking more than double the amount of time. 77 condos and townhomes closed though. So definitely could be an opportunity for a buyer out there just to get their foot in the door, get some home ownership, maybe gain some equity over a couple of years, and then transition to their next home there. So that's always an option as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy. We're just finishing setting up our new film studio here. We've got a couple more things to finish out. So exciting things. So if you like what you watch, hit that like button. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, be sure to do that as well. And as always, I appreciate you watching it. Share it, watch my other videos over here, and I will see you next month. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.